Evening, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earth Watch on Sunday, January 21st, 2024 on our planet. Hope you're all well. Folks, I want to take you back 2.5 years to an event that happened that very, very few people even know happened. A series of events that happened on our planet, which will give you an idea of the destructiveness of earthquakes and what I believe are mantle plume events. It'll also further define Antipode earthquakes and fulcrum point earthquakes. So I kept a very, very old video on January 29, 2021, off the Alaska Peninsula. One moment here. There was a 9.5 earthquake, in which the USGS very quickly downgraded to an 8.2. The USGS, the government, they cannot let the public know that there is a substantial increase in earthquakes in numbers, frequency, and magnitude. You will often hear how the USGS will downgrade earthquakes, delete earthquakes, etc. There's reasons why people believe that this is a 9.5 earthquake. First of all, the seismograph stations throughout the world picked up that signature as a 9.5. I'll show you another example. So the epicenter of our earthquake was right here. So this is a diagram if there was a tsunami wave. Please take note that the timing for a tsunami wave to reach Japan is 6 hours. The timing for a tsunami wave to hit the coast of Oregon, 3.5 to 4 hours. I want you to remember this. This is the National Data Buoy Center. Folks, 10 minutes after that earthquake, every single perimeter buoy on the north end of the Pacific Plate at the same time went into motion. 10 minutes. At the same time as the infamous buoy off the coast of Nova Scotia that goes into motion every once in a while, as well as one in Hawaii. Please listen closely for the next one. A few more minutes afterwards, I believe it was maybe 15 or 20 minutes afterwards, 2 buoys in the Caribbean go into motion. The one off the coast of Nova Scotia is still in motion. Please pay attention. Remember these 2. Shortly after this earthquake event, we had a buoy in the Gulf of Mexico go into motion, and one off the coast of the Chile-Peru border region. To go over it again, earthquake, 10 minutes later, all perimeter buoys go into motion, including Hawaii. A few minutes after that, Caribbean region, Nova Scotia. What do you think happened? What do you think happened that would cause half of the northern hemisphere to go into motion? That was a 9.5 earthquake that jolted the entire north end of the Pacific Plate, putting all those buoys into motion. Remember, the buoys are anchored to the ocean floor. Moments later, 2 buoys in the Caribbean, and the one that goes into motion every once in a while off the coast of Nova Scotia. understand, Brian. How can that be? I've explained it lots of times. Let's go through it again. Mantle plumes, which are anchored to the outer core of our planet. Outer core expansion. That pressure has to rise somewhere, like in a pressure cooker. The only place it can go is traveling up through the mantle plumes. The mantle plume, once it comes to the underside of the lithosphere, creates what's called a mantle plume head, which can spread thousands of kilometers in diameter. It can have branches, arms, nodes, a whole bunch of nodes. Earthquake, Alaska, big bush, North American continent, branch or arm, Nova Scotia, Caribbean. The crustal thickness of North America is too thick. That's why there was no noticeable responses. The thinnest crust of our planet is the oceanic crust, on average of 6 kilometers thick. You need to understand and comprehend the powerful forces below our feet. That's nothing yet. You need to comprehend and understand what was written in Scripture, what is yet to come. It's not over. There's more to come. So that was July 29, 2021. There were a series of strong aftershocks for many days afterwards into the 7 range. Antipode. The antipode for that earthquake is to the east of South Sandwich Islands. South Sandwich Islands is below the tip of South America, between South America and the Antarctic Peninsula. There's an arc, actually, a fault line littered with volcanoes. So the precise antipode was slightly off, but again, energy, as I say, wants to find the point of least resistance. The antipode was struck with an 8.1 earthquake in the South Sandwich Islands. There was a great many earthquakes, a whole bunch of 7s. There were so many earthquakes, they didn't see the 8.1 at first. They had to go through it all. Remember what I said. Anything with a magnitude of 6.5 or greater, as that energy travels through the Earth, it will lose between a 1 and a 1.5 magnitude. That 9.5 earthquake lost a 1.4 by the time it reached South Sandwich Islands. 8.1. Boom. I'm not done yet. Sit down, Arnold. I didn't say you can leave the classroom. South Sandwich Islands was August 12th. Fulcrum point. This is Alaska earthquake. Antipode response, South Sandwich Islands. That energy will spread. That energy will spread. It'll meet in the middle. So our earthquake was right here. The antipode. The precise antipode is right in this region. Again, it's going to find the path of least resistance. South Sandwich Islands, which again are a series of volcanoes. There are so many antipode responses. They had to sort through all of these, and they found the 8.1 fulcrum point. Do you remember those buoys going into motion in the Caribbean island? That is the focal point. And guess what happened 2 days later after South Sandwich Islands? A massive 7.4 earthquake, Haiti. 14,000 people dead. I hope you're beginning to understand now. The destructive power that awaits below our feet. So in Revelation 6, when they say that 25% of the world's population will be dead, 2 billion people, from a culmination of natural events, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, destructive weather events, wars, pestilence, famine. Do you understand now how so many people can die? You didn't know about that earthquake, did you? So there's an example of the size of the immense force to give the Pacific plate such a jolt to set off every single perimeter tsunami buoy within 10 minutes after that earthquake. And the strong aftershocks. And after the strong aftershocks, the Antipode response, South Sandwich Islands, Fulcrum Point. 14,000 dead people knew there was a Fulcrum Point. And there were precursor signs for that earthquake. So initially there was the 2 tsunami buoys in the Caribbean that went in motion, and then shortly later one in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, and also there was a heat detection. And the infamous one off the coast of Nova Scotia and the coast of New York. I'm giving you a hint. Buckle up.